wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
All right.
I like that. I like
Marty
that.
B.
Love her.
Cardi sound focused.
Hate that.
She said, "Poom poom real fat, probably got a double chin. Only L I took comes after YS." Okay, body.
And she looked good in the video too. They dropped the video on the
she killed the video too.
Vlogs. Man, what?
Yep.
Look crazy. Look good.
Shout out to Barty. All right, well, let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Charlamagne the guy, Jess Hilarious.
Peace, Tess.
Good morning, girly.
Let's jump right into it. Trump and Biden working together?
Yeah, they were flexing their backbone, I guess, yesterday. We're going to see who do you think had the strongest presentation. Both President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump visited the southern border yesterday in a dramatic split screen moment as the 2024 presidential campaign ramps up and immigration has been a top issue. Now, not only was the split screen dividing their messages, but they also were vastly different. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of both of their speeches. First, I want you to listen to President Biden really basically plea or beg, in my opinion, to work with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people.
He's not wrong in no way, shape, or form. You know what Biden?
He's not wrong, but he's delusional. Donald Trump's not getting ready to work with him.
Oh no, I know. Listen, we know that, but what Biden is doing is what politicians are supposed to do. It's about the people, not politics. And if you reach out as President Biden and you say, "Hey, we need to work together to get this done for the American people," and you do it on such a grand stage like that, everybody sees it. So when the Republicans and Donald Trump say no, then that lets people know they don't really care about y'all.
Let me ask you a question. You don't think that sounds like a sign of weakness? Like you're the president and you're asking an ex-president, "Hey, let's work together." I'm the mother effing president. I'm supposed to be doing it.
Well, listen,
I shouldn't have to ask. Let's work together. Can you help me, brother? Like,
listen,
that don't sound weird.
It's interesting, and we all know Donald Trump is the shadow president, and I agree that when the actual president who was voted in has to defer to the shadow president to get something done, then we are in a really bad place. But I'm not mad at it, though, because it's 2024. If that's what you have to do to get Republicans on the same page, do it. And even if you don't get them on the same page, you show the American people that they don't really want to get anything done.
But the American people, they want a fighter. They don't want to hear, "Hey, come work with me." They don't want to work. They don't want to work with Joe Biden. They don't believe in those policies. They don't care about putting it out there to say, "Hey, we're trying to work with you." He does that all the time and it never works.
So what's the point of that's why they bring things to the floor a lot of times, right? They bring things through the floor so you can get a vote on record, so you can show people who really is trying to get things done and who's really not. I don't have a problem with this.
Well, let's listen to the difference. Let's listen to the difference of the message. I don't have a problem with it either. I'm just saying it doesn't work. Republicans are okay with Trump not working with anybody. It is their way or the highway. They don't want to work with anybody. They're proud of that. They're proud of that. They love when Donald Trump says, "No, we ain't working with you. You either going to do it our way or nothing at all." I hear your point, Charlamagne, but I'm leaning towards what Envy is saying about, no, stop coming in with a spirit of weakness. Let's listen to what Donald Trump said. Let's listen to the difference. Take a listen.
Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office.
Once again, it's not about the politicians. It's about the people. And I think this is a good way to show the American people that Republicans don't really want to get anything done. Democrats are like, let's solve the problem. Let's work together to solve the problem. Republicans are like, nah. So y'all are politicizing something while people in America are actually suffering. I think it's good optics.
I think it's the opposite, honestly. It seems like it shows a sign of weakness. It's kind of like Jess, right, with her son. And Jess is like, "Excuse me, son, would you mind? Let's clean the room. Let's clean your bedroom together." together,
that's the
opposed to being
no.
like, no, go clean your mother effing bedroom. That's what it sounds like. He's not the president. Trump is not the president.
Do y'all realize things get done because of bipartisan politics? Like,
but Trump is not a president.
You have to have Republicans and Democrats together.
We realize that.
Like, what are we talking about right
Trump
now?
he's not even part of if anything that we're discussing.
This is like people who get mad when folks go talk to somebody on the opposite side.
No,
yes,
definitely,
it is. You have to do that.
When somebody's willing to discuss and willing to have a conversation, we all know. Can we just be clear? Trump don't want to talk.
We know this, but you got to show the people this, because Republicans are blaming Democrats
for. Though, Charlamagne.
No, they haven't. Not. I'm telling you, people are not paying attention like they should. Republicans always blame it on the Democrats. Democrats are letting you know right now. Hey, pleading, like you said, Taz, in front of everybody on CNN, MSNBC, Fox. It's the headline everywhere. Let's work together on getting this done, Trump. And now Trump and the Republicans are still saying no. That's showing the American people that they don't really want to fix the border.
But the Trumpers who are more motivated to vote for him, they're saying get somebody else to do it. We don't want to work with you. We don't like your policies, and we're okay with it.
Yeah, but the Trumpers going to vote for Trump regardless. That's
right.
This is more so for the independent voters out there who are like, well, damn. You know, they may still be up in the air about who to vote for. Like, they may still be up in the air because they don't know who's causing the problems.
You think people are really up in the air, though, at this stage of the game?
I still think there's a lot of independent voters out there. Yeah, especially because what I keep saying, in 2024, it's about the Republicans who are the crooks, the Democrats who are the cowards, and the couch. There's a lot of people who still might be sitting on the couch in November.
All right. Well, that is front page
Gotta energize
news. What are we talking next hour?
Well, more on migrants. Democrat New York City mayor calls for change to the current sanctuary policy. You know, once upon a time, Democrats were saying, hey, come here. And now they're saying, wait a minute, hold up.
Now, he should have listened to Republicans from the beginning. Now, Mayor Adams, that's somebody who should listen to Republicans.
Yeah, you should. Jess?
Absolutely.
Can we please get it off your chest, Jess? Can we get it off your chest together?
Oh, absolutely we can.
Okay, great.
I thought y'all was asking me about politics. I was going to say
absolutely.
To everything.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy, queen of The Breakfast Club, Jess Hilarious, and Charlamagne the Guy.
Good morning.
Peace, Jess.
Now, I know last hour we were talking about Biden, so let's jump right back into Biden.
We want to jump right back into Biden. Let's go straight to Biden. Well, he did not take a mental fitness test and said that he doesn't need one. So, of course, a reporter asked, when he took his yearly physical, why didn't he take the mental test? This is what she had to say.
You were asking me about a cognitive test. The president doesn't need a cognitive test. That is not my assessment. That is the assessment of the president's doctor. That is also the assessment of the neurologist, who has also made that assessment as well. And, and you've heard us say this, and I'll reiterate this, the president's doctor has said, the president, who is also the commander-in-chief, he passes a cognitive test every day as he moves from one topic to another topic, understanding the granular level of these topics. You saw him talk about fighting crime today. Tomorrow he's going to go to the border. Next week he's going to give a State of the Union address. And so we have to keep that in mind.
I believe all presidents should have to take a cognitive test regardless of age. I believe anybody in any position of power that has to lead people should have to take a cognitive test, like annually. I really believe
you don't think that's a stretch? Like, no. It's okay to ask you to take a cognitive test.
I believe
when you're leading millions of people.
That's right. If you are a leader and you are a leader of people the way presidents are, I don't care. It's not about age. I don't care who. You should have to take a cognitive test. I really feel that way.
Well, Dr. Phil was interviewed on TMZ, and he was asked, should he have to take a mental exam? And Dr. Phil, first of all, he explained how he specialized in brain and central nervous system when he was practicing, which I think is important. And this is what he had to say about President Biden.
Really had nothing to hide, I think you would hide nothing. And if you had no problem with neurological deficits, wouldn't you want to crow about that? Wouldn't you want to have a transparent neurocognitive examination and show the world that was the case? That kills the issue in the election.
Dr. Phil is not wrong.
Yeah, but I believe he definitely needs a test. Now, if you don't know what that test includes, if you're like, well, what does the test include? It does your thinking, your learning, your remembering, the judgment, and also breaking down problems and problem solving. So that's what it does. And I'm with Charlamagne. I think at certain age, when people do certain things, I think everybody should have to take that test. I don't know what the test actually consists of, but I think that if you are a certain driving a car, driving a plane, flying a plane, driving a bus, something where you have a lot of power where people can be affected by you, right. I think you should be taking these tests as well.
Anyone in a leadership position, if you serve people, presidents, doctors, police officers, if you serve people on a high level, you should have to take a cognitive test. To me, it's not even about age. It's just about the position that you're in.
But not even that. I think even if you own a firearm, you should be tested to make sure that you're thinking clearly and thinking straight to being able to have that much power to possibly kill people. You know,
I agree.
Yeah, and at the very least, he should have taken it because this is the number one issue that people have, with President Biden, age and memory and, the mental fitness. So this certainly would have shut it down. And this will continue to be a conversation, as we go into the election. So it just seemed like it would have made sense even from a political standpoint. But I want to tell you guys about New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who has wants some changes to the NYC sanctuary policy. He's asked for drastic changes, marking this the first time he publicly endorsed a shift that could put undocumented immigrants who are accused of a crime in the hands of ICE. Take a listen.
I don't believe people who are violent in our city and commit repeated crimes should have the privilege of being in our city.
It comes after recent high-profile crimes allegedly committed by migrants, including an assault on 2 NYPD officers last month and a tourist shot earlier this month during a robbery inside of a Times Square clothing store. Wednesday, police also responded to a stabbing at a Manhattan shelter.
The mere fact we cannot share with ICE that this person has committed 3 robberies, that this person is part of an organized gang crew. Matter of fact, we can't say that and can't communicate with that. That's problematic for me.
At some point, Democrats like Mayor Eric Adams need to admit they got it wrong. Last year, when Governor Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis were sending migrants to those sanctuary cities, and I said that was genius, this is why. Okay,
no, you're right.
This moment right here is why I was saying that was genius, because eventually Democrats had to admit, there really truly is a problem. This is a problem that never impacted the Northeast like that. It was impacting the Texases and the Floridas, but it never impacted the Northeast. So when those Republican governors were saying, "Hey, this is a problem,"
now you're right.
You don't believe it? Now we're gonna send it to your door. Now people like Eric Adams can say, yeah, they were right. They need to say that those folks were right. And just think about it. Just this past January, when I was out here telling folks what people in New York was telling me about the migrant issue, what people in Chicago were telling me about the migrant issue, not politicians, regular, everyday working class people, they were saying that was MAGA messaging. How things have changed.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, because like you said, it didn't affect until it came in our own backyard, right? When it was a problem in Texas, somebody in New York doesn't know how that feels. Right. Somebody in Jersey doesn't know how that feels. Somebody's in D.C. doesn't know how that feels. But when they put it in your own backyard, you'd be like, whoa.
That's right. It's not MAGA messaging no more, is it, y'all? Just January, y'all was writing articles on MSNBC saying I was spreading MAGA messaging, simply talking about the migrant issue. They asked me a simple question on Fox News in November: will the border be an issue? I was like, absolutely. And I laid out reasons why, because of what people, regular, everyday working class people from New York to Chicago were telling me. Now look.
That's right. And you couldn't even bring it up 2 or 3 years ago at all. You would automatically be called anti-immigrant, canceled, like complete. Don't even address the conversation. So my, have things changed? I will say that the advocates for the migrants are saying that this is fueling fear-mongering and baseless attacks. And this is going to cause public safety issues because people don't feel comfortable, talking to ICE. But, again, the mayor is saying, if I can't talk to ICE or deport people who are causing crimes in the city, this ain't gonna work. So we're gonna have to come back and discuss, a better policy. Now, at this particular moment, he has not put out there exactly what it is he's looking for, or if a conviction would be necessary. But he's basically saying, y'all, no, this ain't it. We're gonna have to come back to the table and figure this out because we got to get this under control.
Can I tell you what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next is, because America's not good at solving problems. And being that America's not good at solving problems, America don't even have the resources to take care of these migrants like they're acting like they do. So what's going to happen when these migrants can't get taken care of? What are they going to resort to? Crime, because they're just going to be trying to survive. And where they probably going to be committing this crime at? In the hood, in rural areas like I'm from, in South Carolina. And then what's going to happen? You're going to have civil wars between people in these hoods, people in these rural areas, and migrants. You're going to have wars between gangs in these areas and the migrants, all because everybody's just trying to survive. America doesn't know how to solve problems, man. at all.
And by the way, that's happening now in Chicago. So remember, we covered that in Chicago, Southside Chicago, Black folks who are saying, hey, this ain't it. We don't want, the certain buildings built here and landing it here, quote unquote, in the hood or whatever you want to call it, because you're dumping the problem on us. And we're trying to survive as well. They always say, what about Chicago? Where do you think that crime comes from? In the inner city, from people trying to survive. So now you have one group of people who are trying to survive against another group of people trying to survive. And what is the result of that? Meaning eat each other alive.
Violence.
So yes,
that's right.
Yep.
There's already clashes over resources. Like you can go to somebody, like I do a lot of work with the food bank in Harlem. You know what I mean? And like a lot of the migrants, they'll go there to get food as they should. But the people that's been coming there for years, they ain't gonna let them cut the line. So there's already clashes and everything over this stuff. Like America does not know how to solve problems. We've never known how to solve the problem of poverty in this country, and this situation is just gonna make it worse.
All right. Well, that is Front Page News. Thank you, Tez.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
And make sure you follow at Tesla Figaro on all social media platforms and subscribe to the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast, hosted by Tesla Figaro on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.